Madam, people have not joined yet?
11 people joined, sir.
What is this, madam? Do you mean to say the experts come and they will come later than the experts?
Every time we will send a mail, sir.
No, but this is ridiculous. I think somewhere we have to start the discipline. DO sir is there.
No, he is not yet joined, sir.
No, it is already 4:30. It is looking so bad that experts are joining and we are bigger than experts. This is shocking. I mean, indiscipline is creeping like anything, madam. By chance, I came up at 4:30 just to check that how many people have joined, and I'm shocked that people have not joined, and 4:30 is the time given. No, I'll speak to DO and MD right now. Franchisees, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Franchisees, I think the time given was 4:30, no? Why you people are not joining in time? Experts will wait for you. Today, purposefully, I came at 4:30 to check. This is not done, no? They are actually, let us give respect to outsiders, no? They have a value of time. Let us respect the value of time. Are we showing the good picture of Kyonix? If you ask me, they are our guest, we are the host. So whenever you go for a meeting or anywhere, you mean to say the host will come later and the guest will come early? Is this the way we show professionalism? No, I want an answer. Before we start the session, I want an answer. Don't keep quiet. The time given was 4:30. Now, you should start joining from 4:25. That is what MD has told. That is what DO has told. I think this is not done. No, let us keep some decency. We should respect the experts, no? They don't say anything. That is their goodness. But all of you must join, no? If this is the way we behave, are we showing a good precedence? This is not done. I think let us, or you tell very frankly whether you want an expert session or not. They finish their work, they maintain time, and we people are coming in our own sweet time. Is it the good thing we do? This is the way we are showcasing Kyonix. What will they carry an impression? No, I'm really very upset by this indiscipline.
Okay, can we start?
Madam. Good evening, madam.
Okay. Good evening to one and all. Okay, so what we're going to do is today, just a minute. So students, what I thought was that today, today's session will be basically on cloud computing, AWS. And the session is not only meant for the students who are pursuing cloud computing using AWS platform, but also for all the students who are doing machine learning, web development, or cybersecurity or IoT. Because AWS is for all. AWS is for developer, AWS is for security people and everybody, right? It's a platform. Today my session also is going to talk about a very important aspect, which is going to give a lot of credential to your profile or resume. So I want the students particularly to pay attention to this. So I'm going to talk about the AWS Cloud Practitioner, exam, and which you all can pass very easily. And what's the benefit? Before I explain you what is the benefit, I'll just share the screen with you and show you the exam ka thing. Just give me a few seconds. So I want every students to pay attention to this very carefully. Even the whether whatever course you have taken, there's no harm. This particular course is also meant for non-engineering students also. So AWS this is an exam which you can take anytime. You can schedule this exam anytime whenever you're prepared, and you get a free training from them. You can just go to the site of AWS, cloud practitioner, certified cloud practitioner. You need to have a 6 months of exposure. That's not necessary. Even if you have a knowledge, you can do that. A basic idea of AWS cloud platform. What are the core services? And I'm going to focus to my next, today, including today, plus another 3 session on the AWS certification exam course. So I have built my session, the 4th session, including today's, on the syllabus of AW, which will allow you to, or which will enable you to pass this exam with flying colors. You have to get 70% exam. This is a 90-minute MCQ exam. There is a cost which is around 8,000 rupees, one time cost. But you can take this because the benefit of this is that if you get this particular certificate, you have a very good profile, and there are a lot of company who are looking for people with this certification, right? And they have all kinds of guidance for you. They have exam guides, sample questions, okay? And you can find out that how people who are in the corporate, who have already achieved something, are also doing this course. So you have all the kind of guidance here: practitioner exam guide, sample questions, everything is there. And plus I'm also going to focus on this. As a students, you can get also vouchers. If all of you plan to do it in a group, if you register, you can get a lesser price and you can do this. So this is something. So there is a all free training and all, everything is given. What I've done is today's session, I start, see the syllabus of this revolves around a few things which I'll tell you. It is basically about the things like what are the billing services, what are the core services, core AWS services, what is the AWS or what is cloud computing, what are the different service model of cloud computing. If you remember in the first session, I spoke about that. What are the, the cases on AWS or cloud computing, what are the AWS security services, billing and pricing models, and the security concept. So basically, this particular session is going to be my 4 session, including today's. And I will be giving you some practice question also. And by the end of every session, I will be giving you some exercise. And these are the exercise which will give you practical exposure. See, for exam, you require only what I am doing in the session. But for the purpose of you developing yourself as a professional of cloud computing or AWS, you need to have the knowledge of, you need to know how to apply that. So, students who say that, I have taken machine learning, I have taken something else. So you can, let me tell you, I'm taking you to the console of, AWS. I'll just switch on my video. Can you people see now the screen? Yes or no?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am. Okay. So you can see that, you can see here that I am not going to log in because I have my premium account is already closed. So I have to, for any kind of account, I have to pay them some amount and then only I can use. All of you might be already doing and using this platform. So, you can have, today we will be doing this exercise, which I will be giving you is on EC2. And then I'll be giving you some exercise on light sail, no, S3 also. Then you have, if you can see here, you can build a virtual server, you can connect a IoT device. IoT device, you require a cloud computing things. So there are a lot of things which you can do right here. And also, when you're talking about the services, you have so many services. You have machine learning. In machine learning, you can use this. Maybe one session I can take on this, and we can talk about what is AWS Deep Lens, Deep Racers, or Development Guru, or Augmented AI, all these kinds. Internet of Things also, we can talk about how the IoT one-click work. All these ideas I can give you. Those who are interested in developing gamings, internet, they can use this platform. Then you have a lot of developer tools, so those who are software developer can use all these. I think already you people know. I'm going to focus on few things. I'm going to focus today on compute. In the compute, we have basically, what are the computing tools we have. So I'm going to talk about EC2, then I'm going to talk about elastic beanstalk, I'm going to talk about lambda and lightsail, because these 4 applications are widely used: EC2, elastic beanstalk, lambda and lightsail. This is what I will be teaching today. And then I will be also teaching you today on storage. In storage, I will be teaching you S3, right? And then the other one is also there, which I will be teaching you. Then you can look into all these on your own, but S3 is the most usable services which you have. Then you can go ahead and you can find out the people who are basically into the things. So basically, then next session I will be teaching about database. In that I will take some tools and tell you. Then I will be giving you some exercise to do that. Those who are interested in robotics can go ahead and check the robotic tools which are available. So like this, you have so many. So this is a console on which you have so many kind of tools which are available. So we will be taking care of 3 main core services. The 3 main core services of AWS, which is widely used, is compute, which I told you, EC2 is one of the major, Lambda and Lightsail, which companies are using. The other one is database, which has these many plugins. And then the other one, which is the storage, which company uses to basically have a backup server, or maybe anything migrating from their server to the other server. And one more is there, which is called security. Okay, so security is also there. So I'm going to talk about all these. So security is here. So these are the things which are going to be covered in this. And so in Amazon, if you're talking about, if you want to take that Amazon certified practitioner exam test, then you should know compute, you should know storage, you should know security and identity, and you should know database. So I will be covering today compute and storage. Then I will be giving you also some exercises. And these exercises, if you take these exercises, what I want is all the trainers in the center. And this I'm taking a little serious, because till now I was just giving you work and I was not evaluating. So the next session will start with evaluation, where the file which I'm going to transfer to Harinakshi today after this session, and she will be transferring to you, that file has exercises. And those exercises you people have to do. I will show you the exercise also, and those exercises are based on the concept which I'm teaching. Because see, I can teach you the concept and these are the things, but how to do that is the work of your trainer. How to develop application based on those features is something your trainer can do, and I can provide a little bit help, so that I'm going to do it. If you see here, the Amazon Web Service has training and certification, digital training platform. Most of them are free. So the developer can take this. Machine learning people can also learn about the machine learning facility, security, cyber security people. All these are there. So it is, AWS is a platform which I think all the students, whatever specialization or whatever you are doing, please make sure that you all go through this particular site, create an account. There is a minimum amount which you have to pay, and once you pay the amount, or if your center has account, you can sign up with that account and you can try that. So I want each center divide the students into group and do certain things, which I'll tell you first. Before I start my session, I will take you to the exercise part, because then you will pay attention that what I want from you. So I'm going to just give me a few seconds. Yes, all of you can see. So this is specially for the trainers. Okay, so trainers can see that I have given 4 exercises here. After I teach you this, how to do this is the job of your trainer. Okay, because I will be coming just as a person to give you a kind of a guideline and tell you that how you can proceed with your learning. What's the right direction for your learning? So I'm giving you a direction, but this you have to do. So the first exercise is, you have to host a static web page on EC2. Everything in detail I have given here, how to do that. And also the this particular exercise, you can find out a lot of YouTube videos, or you can find out a lot of the videos even in Amazon Web Service also. This I want everybody to do that. Okay, so this is the first exercise. Even the you can take the help from here. Then second exercise is hosting a static web page with content from GitHub. So in the GitHub, you can have the index file, your the index.html file. You can put it manually and put it into GitHub, and you can just import that in EC2 Cloud, in AWS console, and make an instance, EC2 instance, and do this. Again, all the details are given here. Then the third exercise is hosting a static web page behind a load balancer, because I'm going to teach that also today. So load balancer again. And this is basically, I have taken this exercise. If you want, I have given a link also in the page, which is AWS for Bootcamp. I've taken few exercises which are good in this. You can go to that and you can find this exercise are taken from there. So you have to, host a website And you have to create a load balancer for that. I'm going to teach you what is load balancer of AWS. And then the last exercise is to host a static website on S3. Whatever website you are creating and you are doing on EC2 cloud, you have to migrate that into S3. Again, a link is given here, right? This is a link. If you see the link, I will just show you the link from where I've taken. This is a link. This is a Coursera, things. You can see all these are there. I've just chosen few out of that, which I think you can easily do. Let me tell you, students, if you are basically doing this exercises after learning, there is no way you can stop yourself or a company can stop you to take a job with them. You just name a company and they'll give you a job. These are all practical applications. So please pay attention. Is there any question by any trainer in the or in your center can ask me? All these are very easy. It's not very tough to do. I'm giving you 1 week time. What you can do is, if you can't do all the 4 exercises of all 4 exercises, you can do it's good. Or what you can do is you can divide your people into groups, and don't think that, okay, my center is only for AI or my center is for cybersecurity, why they should do it. There are other exercises also which on security I will come, but at least one side, because all of you have already done a web development, a site. Just post that site on EC2. Okay, so let me start with my session today. Okay, so this is what the work you have to do. Why I have shown you is because I want you all to actually start focusing from the beginning and know the objective of today's session. That the session today's objective is that I want to build a practitioner from you, and that practitioner exam is just a cakewalk for all of you students. It's just a cakewalk. You just learn from whatever session I'm doing, apply it with every exercise. After every session, I'll give you some exercise. Show me the first half an hour of the next session will be every center, or maybe you can, show me for 1 hour and 1 hour I can teach. That we can do always. And then we can go ahead. So today, let's start our session. Just a minute. Okay. So students, today we are focusing on something called AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner Exam. And I'm going to talk about that first, and then we'll go ahead with a few concepts which you can learn. I'm not talking about what is cloud. See, the first part of is about what is cloud computing. What are the different service model, IaaS, PaaS, SaaS, that you people already know, private cloud, hybrid cloud and public cloud. Examples of that, you should be knowing that. The next part I'm taking it forward, which is basically the exam. So let us first understand what is this exam and what kind of knowledge they're expecting from you. So AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner Exam is a foundation level, certification exam from Amazon Web Service. So that's the reason I said even those people who are doing machine learning or AI should take up this exam, because they also need, their company will also give them AWS platform only. And if they say that I don't know AWS and you first teach me because I have learned different platforms, so that will not be a very big issue at all. So they require hands-on. You require hands-on engineering experience? No, you don't require that. Do you require any kind of a working experience? No, you don't require that. What it does, it check or evaluate a candidate overall fundamental understanding of AWS cloud. So basically, what your employer want you to know about AWS, whether you are a developer, you are a security professional, you are an IoT device developer, or you are a web development professional, you require the knowledge of AWS, because everything, your company will give you AWS platform, most widely used. And if you know AWS, you can easily work on Microsoft Azure or your Google Cloud Computing platform also. So how to operate or provide the cloud, what are the different kind of cloud computing services which are available, that you should be knowing. And AWS recommend that each candidate has 6 months of experience actually in AWS cloud from technical, but that is not necessary. You can take this exam as anytime you want. The basic understanding of IT services, use of AWS cloud platform is needed. This exam is of 90 minutes, okay, long, and can be taken online at test centers. You can take it online also. There are certain test centers also where you can go and take this. It costs you $100 per attempt. It is available in many languages like English, Japanese, Korean, Chinese. And you have to score 70%. It's a multiple choice questions. And what does this exam do? What kind of knowledge you should have? You should know the AWS cloud computing, you know. So this is the exam which I told you about. 90 IT services and their AWS cloud, 90-minute long, 100%, all these things I have told you already. You should know this. What is AWS cloud? What are the global infrastructure? I'm going to talk about that today. The billing, accounting, management, and pricing model, I will take one session on that. What is the AWS cloud architectural principles? What are the cloud value propositions? All these things you can know. There are a lot of videos that provided free of cost and training. So this is the exam which you have to do it. You also should know what are the services available on AWS platform. I just showed you a few things, some use cases which we will be discussing while we are doing this particular sessions. So these are the domain. There are 4 domain in AWS certified cloud practitioner exams. One is cloud concept. You need to know the cloud concept, in which you need to know what is the different kind of service model, what are the different kind of deployment model, what are the usage of cloud computing in our day-to-day life, what is industrial use, all those kinds. So that I'm not taking because already it has been taken. The second domain which I'm going to take in the next session is security and compliances. The third domain is technology, and the fourth domain. So I'm taking this technology or the 3 core technology services. And the fourth domain is billing and pricing, which also I will take. So the 4 courses, introduction of AWS for non-engineering series. These are non-engineering series. So that means to know that you don't require a particular engineering concept in this. So you can just go through this case, and these 4 domain which I told you, the domain are the technology domains, or the services domain. So almost in AWS you have 200 and more services which are available in 24 categories. By 2020 now they have added more. They have also added a new service called satellite as a services. And most probably they keep on adding new services depending on the advancement in technology. But the core services does not change much. So if you have an idea of core services, so you don't have to worry, and you just have to understand that. And once you understand that, you can just go ahead and keep yourself updated. AWS always does every year an annual conference in Las Vegas, and in that conference they launch their new product or new services on AWS. Okay, so you can also find about the AWS services, new services on aws.amazon.com products, and you can learn from that, because with every new services there's a tutorial video, right? AWS global infrastructures also I'm going to talk about, that what are the availability zones they have, what are the regions they have, what are the locations in which they have the servers, and how you can deploy your or operate AWS cloud, how you can use AWS management consoles, the AWS command line interface, the CLI, which we say, and infrastructure also. So don't get worried. Okay. So are you ready to start? Let's go ahead then. Okay. So now let us talk about the, so as I was telling you about the technology domain, so you need to know about the product and services. This is what I told you, the global infrastructure, which I'm going to talk to you today. So let us start with the first. So as I told you, there are 3 core technology, which are widely used by AWS. And this is something which you all should know. One is called the compute, the other is called database, the third one is called security and compliances, and the fourth one is called the storage. So these 4 domain are the main for your exam. You should know this. I'm starting from today. I will be covering compute and storage, and I'm not going to talk about all the features or all the tools available in compute. I will talk about the most widely used, which you will be also using, and the exercise also I'm giving on that. So the first computing tool is called Elastic Cloud, EC2. So let's assume that your manager comes by and tap on your soldiers and said, "Hey, we need to get a new server for the app. The developer team is creating a new app, and I think we require a new server to host it. So can you get it set up for them?" You said, "Sure," very enthusiastically. So after that, you start searching and you feel that you need to buy a new computer. This is not very difficult to do that. You know that what kind of configuration a server has. And you can go ahead and you can buy certain parts, assemble or make a server, or you can buy a server directly. You need to know also, but before you buy or you purchase a server, which your manager has asked, right? You need to know how much storage you require, how much memory the development team require, right? The operating system, the bells, the whistles. And once you manage to find a server that fit all the storage requirement, all the operating system requirement posed by the development team who's developing the app for your company, you then have to get it through all the bureaucratic ladder up and down, the command chain, the engineering team. So first you collaborate with the engineering team, you get their requirement, that what storage they require, depending on what kind of operating systems they will be developing or they'll be using. And all these things, once you know what is a requirement, then you have to go to your management. It's not very easy that you suddenly development team comes and give you the requirement, you start purchasing it. In order to purchase that, you have to go through the various department and get it sanctioned. So you finally, you go to finance department, and finance department will be take some time, and ultimately they also agree and you are ready to get it purchased. Now you find out that you have to, when you have already gone through the finance department, and always it happens, students, that finance department is not at all happy with the unexpected cost of buying expensive servers. They are not an IT people. You can't convince the finance department to approve the cost and order. They will always say that, okay, fine, you go and tell them that we need 5 lakh rupees server. They will say, do it in 2 lakhs. So this take a lot of time. And already, like for example, from the time you got the requirement from the development team, and then you got it approved from the finance, after a lot of negotiation, already a month has passed. So your manager initially asked you to purchase this, the development team is also getting impatient, and you waited to deliver it in a week, but wait, you aren't done, because it's not delivered, because you have now placed the order. Once you place the order, the delivery is not happening, because the servers are not something which are ready made or it's available. You are configuring the server, you are customizing like a new computer. You are asking that I need this kind of a memory, I want this operating system to be installed, I want this kind of a storage, and everything you tell a particular computer, making company, and they start making that. So your development company, your development team, which are fully set up and they are ready, they will get actually a lot of time. They will get this particular server after a month. And when the server is up and running, the way the development team wanted, and you deliver them and you say, finally, I have given you the storage, what you requested, and it is easy, you are spending, this. So why to do this? Why do you want this particular problem? Because by that time the developer team might say that, it is too long, whatever idea we had in mind, it has 1 month passed, few days, 15 days have passed and nothing has happened. We have not got the servers. Even if the server has come, there are maybe a lot of problems you have. By the time it is up and running, there's a lot of issues. Why I'm telling you the story, students? What is there? You are wondering why she's giving all these kinds of problems, what a person face or what a company face when they have to purchase a new infrastructure, IT infrastructure, especially the servers. What I'm telling you is that these are the common problem which exist in all organizations when they have to buy a new IT infrastructure. It is not about buying and investing. It is not a one-time investment. There is an investment which is required to update that server, to maintain the server, to have a server room, to then the servers, the development team, one development team is using one server. It is enough for them. There will be a new app developed, one more server is required. Like this, there will be a never ending request. And how do you keep on doing? Do you keep on doing this exercise of identifying the configuration of the server, finally finding the vendor to buy it, and then getting it approved from the finance team? All these are a big headache. So the best solution is what? The best solution is you can just don't have to buy any infrastructure. Just log on to AWS, spin up a virtual servers. And virtual servers are called what? Anybody? What are the virtual servers called on AWS? Can anybody tell me in the chat box? You all are doing, right? What are these called? When we create a virtual server, nobody tells me. Then you can, every time today when I was teaching in the class, students, what did I tell? I was teaching the students, some subject, e-commerce, I think so. And the students were saying, how do we do something like that they asked. And I was telling them that there is something called IQ. There is something called EQ, emotional quotient. There is new concept which is called SQ, spiritual quotient. But the most important thing which helps you in making money is called FQ, financial quotient. That means how literate you are on finance. We all earn money, we get good jobs. You all will also end up doing very good job in few years, earn a lot of money. But do you have? I will suggest that along with that, if you are here college, but then you all should at least invest some time in developing your FQ, that is financial literacy. Okay, Reshma said correct. Clap for Reshma. EC2 instance. Shridham Shrishti Infotech also said yes. So what happens when I said that when you create a virtual server, it is called instance. In AWS, you can create a virtual server in a second. I'm not talking about even a minutes if you have an idea. With exact specification what your developer team want. Then student, why do you want to wait for 1 month? To buy a server, run a server, maintain it, lot of problems and expensive. So even by the time you get there, it might happen that the need of the developer team change. They say, no, now we want bigger storage because now we have developed the app and it is required because now after developing, we feel that the storage should be extended. So need can keep on changing. You can easily adjust the existing server on the EC2, right? And just spin up. So this services is called the Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud EC2. And just a minute. Okay, so these are called EC2 and one of the most widely used services in AWS. So EC2 allow you to launch an application and server when you need them without any financial commitment. It is integrated with many other AWS services, which is very reliable, very secure. You don't have to worry about hacking, breaching, trust you can have. You don't have to worry about any infrastructure setup. And it will quickly instantly spin up the instances of virtual servers of different needs. Okay, so you can run. So you can run a virtual server on AWS. You can configure number of virtual servers and dedicate it to different development team in your group, right? And you can develop a virtual server with CPU, GBs of RAM size, any kind of a storage. And why it is called elastic? Whatever you are using, it is called pay as you go. How much storage you are using, that much you can extend or reduce. So whatever space you are using, you can reduce it and you can increase the space and you pay for only for that. So it's called pay as you go. You are charged for whatever you are using. And you can deploy, you can scale your business and do it. So this is EC2 services. Let us see in the video. I want everybody to pay attention to this video and let's learn. Just a minute.
Whatever kind of application you run, it's pretty certain that you're going to need servers. Sometimes you might need larger ones, and sometimes you might need smaller ones. Sometimes you might not need many, and other times you might need tens or hundreds. Whatever your requirements, wouldn't it be great to be able to obtain servers quickly and inexpensively? Traditionally, obtaining servers could be quite time-consuming and typically something that could take weeks or even months. You had to do research into the right kind of hardware to buy, maybe get budget approval, and then purchase the hardware, have it racked and stacked, and eventually get access to your servers. And once you'd purchased the servers, you were stuck with them. Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud, or Amazon EC2, makes it easy for you to obtain virtual servers, also known as compute instances, in the cloud quickly and inexpensively. You simply choose the instance type you want, the temperature you'd like to use, which could be based on Windows or Linux, and launch the quantity you need. You can do this with a few clicks from the AWS Management Console or automate the process via an API using an SDK in your choice of language. Within minutes, your instances will be running and you will have access with full administrative control, just like any other server. And with Amazon EC2, you pay only for what you use. When you're done using your instances, you stop them and you stop paying for them. Amazon EC2 provides a range of instance types designed for different use cases. These range from small and economical instances that are a great choice for low-volume applications, all the way up to cluster compute instances designed for high-performance computing workloads and cloud-based supercomputing on demand. Amazon EC2 provides instances optimized for compute, memory, storage, and GPU processing to enable you to find the right price and performance combination for whatever.
So this is very important here. So when you are creating a virtual machine, which is called instances, you can have a configure CPU, configure memory, configure storage, and GPU also, right? The graphical processing unit. So you can have so many kind of infrastructure, IT, hardware, infrastructure, plus the software included. So whatever you're using, how much you're using, you're paying for that.
Workloads you want to run. It's also really easy to resize your instances if your business or application requirements change. Amazon EC2 offers a choice of flexible pricing options. With on-demand pricing, you pay only for what you use. When you stop your instances, you stop paying. There are no long-term commitments or upfront fees. Reserved instance pricing lets you obtain a significant discount over the on-demand price in return for a low one-time payment. Spot instance pricing lets you name the price you want to pay for instances using market-based pricing and can allow you to obtain compute capacity at a significant discount to the on-demand price. We know that security is very important for your applications, and Amazon EC2 provides a number of built-in security features. Your instances are located in a virtual private cloud, or VPC, that is a logically isolated network that you control. Amazon VPC provides you with a number of network security tools you can use to control who can access your instances. You can also connect securely to your on-premises network with a hardware-based VPN device. Amazon EC2 instances provide you with various amounts of directly attached temporary storage depending on instance type. And you can also use Amazon Elastic Block Store, or EBS, to provide persistent block storage for your Amazon EC2 instances.
Okay, sorry, the internet got disconnected. I think you were seeing the videos, right?
Yes, ma'am.
The video was fully shown.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Almost 3/4.
Okay, fine.
Provides a range of instance types designed for different use cases. It's also really easy to resize your instances if your business or application requirements change. Amazon EC2 offers a choice of flexible pricing options. With on-demand pricing, you pay only for what you use. When you stop your instances, you stop paying. There are no long-term commitments or upfront fees. Reserved instance pricing lets you obtain a significant discount over the on-demand price in return for a low one-time payment. Spot instance pricing lets you name the price you want to pay for instances using market-based pricing and can allow you to obtain compute capacity at a significant discount to the on-demand price. We know that security is very important for your applications, and Amazon EC2 provides a number of built-in security features. Your instances are located in a virtual private cloud, or VPC, that is a logically isolated network that you control. Amazon VPC provides you with a number of network security tools you can use to control who can access your instances. You can also connect securely to your on-premises network with a hardware-based VPN device. Amazon EC2 instances provide you with various amounts of directly attached temporary storage depending on instance type. And you can also use Amazon Elastic Block Store, or EBS, to provide persistent block storage for your Amazon EC2 instances. Amazon EBS also offers you the ability to provision storage with a specific level of performance to meet the needs of your application. It can be difficult to predict the demand that your applications might experience, and Amazon EC2 provides auto-scaling to help ensure that your application's demands are met. Auto-scaling lets you define metrics to increase or decrease the number of instances that you are running. You can choose standard metrics such as network bandwidth or CPU utilization, or a custom metric that you define. This helps you ensure that you can meet your application's demands without manual intervention and pay only for what you need. You can sign up for an AWS account today and get started with Amazon EC2 in minutes. And with the AWS free tier, you can try cloud computing for free.
Okay. So this was about Elastic Cloud and how do you create virtual machines and most widely used services in computing, thing. You can use hypervisor and all those kinds also, but then EC2 is most widely used. So why to spend money? Then you have understood that almost all organizations, even IT organizations, they use this particular platform or the services. Next in compute is called Elastic Beanstalk. That's a new, that's a services. What we have. So let's assume that you find yourself doing very lot of administrative and infrastructure work normally when you join a company. You are a coder, but when you join a company, most of the time they don't give you immediately till you don't have an experience. Even though you are a programmer, you will be doing more of administrative and infrastructure than coding. So you will always think that are you spending more time in managing your platform, balancing, than developing? So there are a lot of other work apart from developing in IT which you are required to do, and you require to know that. You can't say that I'm a developer, I will do only coding. So do you wish you could worry that about your coding instead of that, the application stack which is handling your app? So how do you basically provide an environment for your team of developer which can be used to develop an application? So AWS Elastic Beanstalk is an easy solution which is provided by it, the AWS services to help you deploy and scale web application by simply uploading your code. You can write up code and store it manually in GitHub or any of the platform. What Elastic Beanstalk will do, it will handle the deployment process. It will include also the capacity provisioning, load balancing, auto scaling, and application health monitoring also it will do. So you can upload a service developed using Java, .NET, PHP, Node.js, Python, Ruby, Go, and Docker, whatever you're using. Okay. So you can use all these kinds. So it will help in deployment. So whatever code you are developing, that code you can just directly upload in Elastic Beanstalk. As I said, that you can use any of these particular tools to develop that code, and AWS Elastic Beanstalk will help in deployment process. And you can retain a full control over it. The underlying resources, whatever it is free to use. You only pay for AWS resource need to store and run the web application. So when you are uploading your code, whatever storage you are using and whatever infrastructure you're using to run the web application, whatever hardware and software you're using, you have to pay only for that, just for the deployment purpose. So you don't have to worry that about any kind of outgrowing resources. Elastic Beanstalk will provide you automatically to scale up your application up and down based on specific need. It can give you a freedom to select any AWS resource, such as EC2 instance, which we just saw now about virtual servers. And it also will take your manual management of the infrastructure to an automated management. So Elastic Beanstalk can operate the infrastructure for you, and you can just focus on coding. So what happens when you join a company, IT company students, the Company will say, no, the coding job, you gain some experience, learn something, then come to coding. And they will give you the job of running the application platform, the infrastructure, the load balancers and all. So here, Elastic Beanstalk avoid those kinds of jobs, which are manual in nature. IT job, but routine and manual in nature. These jobs are actually taken care by the Elastic Beanstalk. So the programmer can focus only on developing the code, and all the deployment resources or infrastructure, what you need is not a worry for a coder or for a developer. So you don't become frustrated that, I have to spend time managing configuring, because your organization will say that, okay, you have developed the code. Now what you have to do is you can basically go ahead and manage and configure the server, uh, create a database, for security purpose, create a firewall and networking. So what actually the Elastic Beanstalk does, it gives you a try. It gives you all these related work which support or which felicitate your code to run, to do on your own. So you don't have to take a worry of that. Just give me a second. So let's see a video on this. Sorry.
The frustrating job of the accidental sysadmin. As a developer, you just want to build a great website or mobile app, but somehow always end up as a system administrator. You spend a lot of time managing and configuring servers, databases, load balancers, firewalls, and networks instead of coding. Whenever you have to scale your servers to support more users, it becomes a headache because of the extra time you spend re-architecting your infrastructure. Wouldn't it be nice if you could just focus on writing code and building a great product and hand over the provisioning and scaling of the infrastructure and the installation and management of application stack to someone else? Introducing AWS Elastic Beanstalk. Elastic Beanstalk is an easy-to-use service that deploys, manages, and scales web apps and services for you. Elastic Beanstalk uses managed containers that support environments such as Java, .NET, PHP, Node.js, Python, Ruby, and Docker on familiar servers such as Apache HTTP Server, Apache Tomcat, Nginx, Passenger, and IIS. Elastic Beanstalk leverages familiar AWS services such as Amazon EC2, S3, Simple Notification Service, Elastic Load Balancing, and Auto Scaling. It's easy to get started on Elastic Beanstalk. You can use the AWS Management Console, the command line interface, or the API. You just choose your platform, like Node.js or Ruby, Amazon EC2 instance type. Then you select additional resources to use, such as Amazon Relational Database Service or Amazon Virtual Private Cloud, and then just upload your code. Elastic Beanstalk will handle the rest of the deployment details, such as provisioning, load balancing, auto scaling, and application health monitoring. Elastic Beanstalk will automatically scale your application up and down based on easily adjustable auto scaling settings. Elastic Beanstalk full control over all the AWS resources powering your app. You can take over some or all of the resources of your infrastructure anytime, so you're not forced to live with predetermined configurations. Elastic Beanstalk lets you focus on building great web or mobile apps for your users without spending a lot of time managing and configuring infrastructure. You can build things like websites, content management systems, API backends, and even SaaS applications. Elastic Beanstalk can help get you to market faster because it's quick and simple to get started. Elastic Beanstalk automatically load balances and manages scale, helping to make sure your app is always available. You can also tweak any Elastic Beanstalk resource you want when you need to, giving you complete control under the hood. Even better, there's no additional charge for Elastic Beanstalk. You pay only for the AWS resources needed to store and run your applications. To get started running your applications with AWS Elastic Beanstalk, visit our website and get your first app up and running with a few clicks in the AWS Management Console.
Now here, I want those students who are basically developing or learning machine learning. or they are developing codes, or they are basically developing a web page, or maybe a cyber security application. They can take the help of cloud computing. You know what? You should, as I said in the all classes, all the students who are doing different courses in a center can collaborate and do a transdisciplinary or multidisciplinary, not trans, I will say, multidisciplinary project. So the cloud computing people can create a virtual machine or the virtual servers for them or instances for them on EC2 Cloud. The app developers can develop an app and give the code to the cloud computing people, and they can put it on the elastic beanstalk and keep on up running. So this is how, even though those people also will learn, because it is not all about developing a code nowadays, students. You have to know this platform, because all companies, believe me, every company is using cloud service, and 90% of the companies are using AWS. So as a developer, as a IT professional, you should know this platform very well. Okay. The third one is called elastic load balancing. Now, let me ask you, have you ever experienced a situation where suddenly everyone around you at the work seem to want something from you? They just come and they say, do this, do that. I want this stuff done now and all. You are completely overwhelmed. You found yourself unable to do any task because there's so many requests and you have very less time to do that. So what happens when a server is overloaded with a request? It reacts similarly the way you do. You stop functioning, your mind stop. Similarly, the servers also stop responding when there is a n number of requests. When I was doing a cybersecurity session that time, I told you about DDoS attack, denial of services. Those are but criminal activities. I'm here talking about the server capacity to handle the request. So it becomes unable to send out the request to the payment, paralyzing the amount of traffic. You also, the website, sometime, most of the time, you might have seen that the website loads very, very slowly. It depends also on the internet speed. So it becomes the loading becomes very slow, or almost it will say server down. Some error will come. Let's take one example. Let's think about a fashion company called A. And the fashion company A decide have a sale, like how Amazon has a big billion day sale. So the fashion company A decided to have a sale to celebrate first anniversary, and they are making men shirts. All the shirts are 50% off. The marketing department did an amazing job. Everyone is talking about that in the social media. They promoted it. They did a wonderful marketing campaign. And as soon as they launched the sale of 50% shirt on the sale, there is people started, coming to the site. The traffic grew. Everybody went into the site, all the customers, and they wanted to buy it. So what happened? The site goes down, right? And when the site goes down, I'm so sorry, just a minute. The site goes down, and the instances happen where the infrastructure team is not prepared for that crushing amount of traffic which suddenly happens. Like how in the e-commerce company, when Amazon declared big billion day sales for 2 days, the traffic is 10 times bigger than the normal day sales. So what does the Amazon knows that there will be a traffic which will be 10 times more than the normal day sales? How to handle that traffic? Do they have to handle this kind of a traffic on their website server? Because the website server is going to get loaded with the request. Now the whole company is running around, when this kind of situation happens, trying to get the website up, because your customers become very angry and they say that, what is this happening? We are not able to do the payment. It is stopping in between. How the fashion company A, so that even if there is a 10 times bigger traffic coming to their site, the site doesn't go down and does not kill the excitement of the customers who want to just buy. They don't want FOMO, the fear of missing out. So what you can do, you have, on the company owns only one server or maybe 2 or 3 servers. And those 2-3 servers are basically required or enough for handling the day-to-day request. But when there is a sale like this, the traffic is 10 times more than the normal day operations, then is your servers capable of handling that kind of a traffic? So what happens? Your server goes down. And then what you need to do, will you hire or will you buy a new server for those 2 days when you have sales? Because after that, you don't need it. Your traffic will again come to a normal traffic. So in order to prepare a company to balance these kinds of load or demand, and what you can use, every company thinks what to do. I can't buy for 1 or 2 day sales when traffic or store. You can't see, suppose you are an offline store and you're doing a clearance sale, everybody comes and your entire so will you say that no, what I will do is I will put this into I will extend, I will take one more shop and do it just for 1 day and 2 day? You will not do it. How do you balance that load? For that, the company, the AWS, something called the elastic load balancing. What it can do is it can automatically balance or distribute the incoming traffic across multiple servers, because they have multiple number of servers. So what happens, your application will be divided and it will be distributed into and running into multiple servers. And the multiple servers, the load balancer is an option which distribute the request into a server which is not available. It will schedule the request into servers, multiple servers. This means that the infrastructure department could have set up the multiple replicated servers on the elastic load balancers and allow the allow the elastic load balancer to distribute the traffic to these multiple servers. When EC2 you can do that, and with load balancer you can just divide the traffic into multiple server, and that way each server is not only taking care of a fraction of, but also managing the traffic, and everybody is able to do everything properly. All customers are happy. It's just like managing air traffic control. You have seen when you go to the airport, there is a big tower with a round circle, a circular building. So how do you, have you ever imagined that how these air traffic controllers basically tell the incoming aeroplane to use the different runway, or maybe when the a particular is about to land and there is already the runway is engaged, how does it roam on the top till they get the signal from the traffic controller? So they balance the load on the runway differently. They make sure that one overload, which may cause either a delay. So they equalize the balance on the runway for landing and takeoff. So elastic load balancer help your application achieve the full tolerance by ensuring the what? Scalability. Your entire thing is like scalable. So automatically it will distribute all the traffic into multiple servers. Every server is handling. So if you have one salesperson who's handling 10 people, he can handle 10 people at a time. But if you have 20 people, he can't. So you need to have to direct those another 10% to the other salesperson. So it is like that. It can also basically help you in achieving the fault tolerance. So there will be no faulty tolerance. It will ensure the scalability. As many people can come and the traffic can be huge. You can manage that. It can give you a very good performance, and security also it can provide you. So you can also monitor the health of your server, whether your server is becoming ill because of or it is going down. The load balancers can send traffic to all the healthy servers which are capable of handling that request, not to the weak servers. Load balancers are highly available, secure, flexible, monitorable, allowing you to have a kind of a good traffic balancing. Okay, so this is one. I could not get any proper what you called the video to show you. And anyway, I'll go to the next one. This is the one which is widely used nowadays, students, called Lambda. Let's say you have created a mobile application. Let's take one example. This mobile application allow people to create profiles of dogs. Let's say it's a dog website application. And what it does, it create a profile of dog, that what breed it is, what is the height, what is the kind of training the dog has. And it creates a profile of dog, and it make the dog friendship with the other dog over the internet. So like we have Facebook, where we create friendship with people. So you can say Facebook. And this is the real example which I'm taking, which happens in US and by one company. So the first thing a new user does whenever they want to come up and log in and open their account in this particular kind of a dog Facebook, they upload their dog photos. Because what a dog social media, you have to upload a dog photo, because in a profile the dog for picture is must. You want the dog photo thumbnail to become available immediately after you upload. So you may upload 1 photo, 2 photo, 3 photos. You can form of album, and out of that one, like in Facebook, you upload so many picture, and out of that picture you pick up and make one picture as your dog profile picture. So in order to make this happen, you need a provision and manage server to run your code and make your app function. Because as more and more number of dog lovers sign up into your dog Facebook, you find yourself having to devote more and more time in maintaining, scaling your server infrastructure instead of writing code. Again, the same thing. To make your app better, and you keep on adding new feature, because you will develop that. Okay, fine, now the user want this. Now the user want something like a like button or share button or something, some features they want. Or maybe you want to add AI to your Facebook, like our Facebook. You can focus on writing code for your dog social media instead of spending too much time on keeping the infrastructure up, right? So that you can do. Now, what you do this, all these you can be managed using the AWS Lambda. What it can do is it can run the code, okay, and it can run the code which is called Lambda function in response to an event. Like unlike the other one where you have a static code which runs 24/7 or it may be running in some way. But Lambda functions responds to an event. An event could be anything from user uploading an image into S3 buckets, the story which I'm going to talk about, S3 of AWS, to user tapping a button on the mobile app to buy an item. Maybe you have an app which is not only making the networking of the dog lovers and sharing the dog, connect with each other, but also you are selling certain products. Your source of revenue can be an advertisement. So what happens here? Whenever there is an event which is triggered, the Lambda functions get alert and it get triggered. So all you have to do is to upload your code, and AWS Lambda automatically run your code, your application for you. You only for the code is till if your code is not, your code will run only when when some action is taken by the customer. Let's say a particular person is opening an account, your code runs. Let's say a person is uploading a picture, code runs. Somebody buys something or is reaching you. So whenever there is an event, the code automatically runs your code. You want for that time when the Lambda function is running, and it is, so that means your cost is very, it comes down very low. So there are no server provision or nothing you can do, but always to do this, only Lambda can take. You just focus and develop, adding the additional code for additional features. And will trigger the function or run the some, and you can do in just a few clicks. Do that, people you are going to help you in this, how to do this. So you can your focus on your coding work rather than thinking about the load balancing, then it is going to run, running 24, all those worry about.
Applications, you want them to.
Okay, so this is a just a minute. Okay, before I show you the video, I want to tell you that till now completed in compute in Lambda. Now, do you love the idea? You did this. Environment, your AWS as a service that which is called Amazon still okay, so student I was talking about, I will just few points are missed. I was talking about AWS. So AWS Lightsail is perfect of AWS, which basically it is a kind of a thing which is designed to which comes up with a pre-configured ready to use operating system, web app and development stacks. Okay, it can deploy simple web application, it can create a website for you, it can run your business software, it can spin up a development and testing environment. So for developer, they can use a developing tool over here. If you have a code you want to test, you can do it on that, and you can, it's a very cost effective monthly package, subscription package. There are many pre-configured and ready to use operating systems which are there. There are a lot of web apps and development stacks which are available, and there are very popular resources which are available here are WordPress. So suppose you are developing a website, which we did in the last one of the session. So WordPress, you can just develop a web page, and you can deploy that in the Amazon Light Sales. You can also use the services like window operating systems, Ubuntu, Node.js, services, and a lot of project which you can create on WordPress blog can run with a database on that. So WordPress can be the face of your website, and you can keep a database in your Amazon Light Sale, and you can just spin up your project using Amazon Light Sale. So I will just show you a video on this.
When you're building applications, you want them to deliver a great experience for your users. Maybe you want your application to generate in-app purchase options during a gaming session, rapidly validate street address updates, or make image thumbnails available instantly after a user uploads photos. To make this magic happen, your application needs backend code that runs in response to events like image uploads, in-app activity, website clicks, or sensor outputs. But managing the infrastructure to host and execute backend code requires you to size, provision, and scale a bunch of servers, manage operating system updates, apply security patches, and then monitor all this infrastructure for performance and availability. Wouldn't it be nice if you could just focus on building great applications without having to spend lots of time managing servers? Introducing AWS Lambda.
Okay, this was
AWS Lambda is a compute service that runs your backend code in response to events such as uploads to Amazon S3 buckets, updates to Amazon DynamoDB tables, data in Amazon Kinesis streams.
So Amazon.
When you're building applications, you want them to be tables in Amazon Kinesis.
So DynamoDB and all these I will teach you in the other session.
Streams or in-app activity. Once you upload your code to Lambda, the service handles all the capacity, scaling, patching, and administration of the infrastructure to run your code and provides visibility into performance by publishing real-time metrics and logs to Amazon CloudWatch. All you need to do is write the code. AWS Lambda is very low cost and does not require any upfront investment. When you use AWS Lambda, you're simply charged a low fee per request and for the time your code runs, measured in increments of 100 milliseconds. Getting started with AWS Lambda is easy. There are no new languages, tools, or frameworks to learn. You can use any third-party library, even native ones. The code you run on AWS Lambda is called a Lambda function. You just upload your code as a zip file or design it in the integrated development environment in the AWS Management Console. Or you can select from pre-built for common use cases such as image conversion, file compression, and change notification. Built-in support of the ES SDK makes it easy to call other AWS. Once your function is hit, use the event source to monitor, such as an Amazon S3 bucket or Amazon DynamoDB table. And within a few seconds, Lambda will be ready to trigger your function automatically when an event occurs. With Lambda, any event can trigger your function, making it easy to build applications that respond quickly to new information. To learn more about AWS Lambda, visit our website and you can get your first Lambda function up and running with a few clicks in the AWS Management Console. And with the AWS free tier, you can try Lambda for free.
Okay. Already I told you about live sales. Let's see live sales.
Developers are passionate about their projects, but don't want to spend extra time or money focusing on cloud management. They need a cloud platform that offers the fastest, easiest, and most affordable way to get up and running. Amazon Lightsail does just that. As a one-stop shop to set up and manage a variety of applications and websites, Lightsail allows developers to do it all with instances, databases, in-console networking, and more. It's powerfully simple with click-to-launch blueprints designed to provide customers with an easy-to-use interface while offering a rich feature set. Once up and running, it's simple to operate and maintain applications, services, and instances in a secure and efficient way. It has a low set monthly price with bundled plans that support common business and application areas. These include all basic components such as virtual servers, managed databases, load balancers, networking, monitoring, and alarms. As customer needs change and grow, they can upgrade to a different plan or add resources such as databases and load balancers, all for a fixed monthly price. Lightsail is built on the world's leading cloud platform, and its computing is based on the same highly available and reliable AWS cloud infrastructure used by over 1 million customers worldwide. Developers can now get projects up and running as fast as possible with an easy-to-use cloud platform. Leave cloud maintenance to Lightsail so developers can focus on their code. Get started today.
Okay. Now I told you about the major domain or major technology in compute, AWS compute, which is enough for you. So light sales, Lambda, you should know. Nightsail, you should know. EC2, you should know very well. And how to create instances in EC2. All those things you should know. I've given exercises related to that. And you should know the, what else I said? The Beanstalk. These are the four major, core services which are taken and which are widely used. Let's talk about the next thing, which is about the AWS global infrastructure. You all know that Amazon Web Services is a global company. It's a global company. Many companies are using their services all over the world. And many companies rely on AWS cloud to help their business scale up, succeed, and grow. So Amazon Web Service has a data center around the world, and which are called availability zones. AZs, they say, not AZs. So they call AZs. These are availability zones. Even when you are creating a login account, all of you must be knowing this, that in India you have to select, I think you can select Mumbai for here. Each availability zone is independent of each other in the network and power source. There are currently 6 dozen availability zones, AZs, around the world. Then they have something called regions. The region is made up of 2 or more zones. And there are currently 2 dozens. That means 24 AWS regions around the world. Some of these regions have, the So these 2 dozen AWS regions which are around the world allow the whenever there is a new services which is available, and Amazon keep on adding to their zones and availability regions. And these regions have more AWS cloud services than the others. All these have all the kind of services. When a brand new services is introduced by AWS, they generally first get introduced in some specific regions, not to the entire world. And some of these regions that receive the new services are basically the US, because it's a US based company, US East North, Virginia, US West North, California, maybe sometimes Singapore, Sydney, Tokyo. These are the areas. And sometimes even the European Union, like Frankfurt, Ireland, Germany, they also receive the first, the new services, and then it is launched into the other service like Asia and all. So the fact which influence that which region could actually decide to use or host a new infrastructure is typically depending. And how do you choose? How does a particular company choose a region? They choose a region closest to their physical location. For example, if you are in India and you are in Bangalore, you will choose Mumbai, Asia first as a region, as a availability zone, AZs. And in AZs, Asia, you will choose Mumbai. So that's a very near to your physical location to host your AWS cloud infrastructure. And because you can reduce the network latency also from their side. So if your company is based out of Washington, DC, for example, you might pick up a region like US East 1, which is on North Virginia in, United States. And also the factor also which can decide you can take any other services or region also, that doesn't matter. But some region will cost more than the other. It depends on the compliance. It depends on the agreement with the company. The company kind of a compliance, every country has their own compliance requirement to be met, and which also from your side also you may require to host your resource on specific region. You can't say that I'm in India, I will host my entire database in Europe. The European country will not allow you to transfer or migrate any data, because they have a very, very strict GDPR, general data protection right law. So they won't allow you. So hosting your resource you can also host your resource actually in the multiple availability zones, and you can create a high availability. So the ability to provide uninterrupted performance during, what it does is, because of these multiple zone you can choose and multiple region you use to host your services or to keep your services or running on that AWS platform. You may get uninterrupted performance even during the natural disaster also. For example, you have hosted in India and Gujarat, and there is a natural earthquake or something like that. Your service is automatically interrupted, but you have a backup application running in let's say Mumbai, or maybe let's say Mumbai is very nearby, let's say in south, or maybe in China. You have hosted there, but there is no natural disaster, so it will keep on running even there is a kind of an interruption because of the natural disaster. So that is one thing, uninterrupted service during the natural disaster, which is also called residency. And having a multiple copy of your data in different data center is also called redundancy. Redundancy means you duplicate your data and keep it in multiple servers so that if one server is not working, your service is not interrupted. So you can do all these things on AWS cloud infrastructure according across multiple regions. So you can, it's not that I have chosen Mumbai as a region in the Asia. I will only use Mumbai. I cannot. You can use the multiple regions and you can, host your database, your storage in multiple region. You can prevent, by this, what you are doing is you're preventing, preparing for events like power failure, natural disaster, any kind of a mishaps, and your application is not getting affected by that. You will not experience a downtime. You will not experience that service is not available. Every data center, every zone, every region is interconnected with a highly available global network by AWS. They have a very good supply chain. This means that data transfer between the data centers, between the data centers and the availability zones are super fast in AWS. They have the best networking and which allow a customer to take advantage without a lag. Okay, so now I have spoken about compute services and AWS global infrastructure. I will be now asking few questions on whatever I have taught you, and you can write in the chat your answers. Okay, so let's see. Let's assume an hour after Texeria gift post a 50%. Let's say there's a company called Texeria and they post an hour after that, once they post a 50% off on holiday sale. Let's say this is a company which is selling, the traveling packages, and they offer a 50% off. Its service goes down. As soon as it is offered, within 1 hour, the traffic is so much that the server goes down and the amount of traffic to the website, because of the amount of traffic, how would you use elastic load balancing preventing this issue? First, by automatically limiting the number of customer accessing its website. Second, by automatically distributing traffic across multiple server, or by automatically slowing down the response time of its website. Let me see. 2. Correct. 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 So the answer is 2. You will distribute your traffic because this is what the elastic load balancing does. It distributes the traffic across the multiple server where you're hosting the same application and it is available to all. Next scenario. You are just starting out with AWS, but do not have a technical knowledge of how to do. What AWS service can you use to create a website and run your business software? You are a very beginner. Will you use Lightsail? You don't know much about technicality or License or Lambda. Okay, Raichur is saying AWS Lambda, which is incorrect. Kavita Computer option 1, Sunita option 1, correct. So the answer is option 1. Lightsail is something which gives a beginner an opportunity to create a website and run their business software without much technical knowledge about infrastructure. Next scenario, if you want to deploy AWS service by using a variety of popular programming language, what service will you use? management console, development kit, or this is for developers, or command line interface, CLI. Let me see. Okay, Kavita Computer says option two, Chirag Infotech. Yes, correct. Very good. So option 2 is AWS Software Development Kit. When would you find it most beneficial to use Elastic Beanstalk? When you want the ease and lower cost of your virtual server, or when you are spending more time configuring your infrastructure than coding, or when you do not need load balancing or auto scaling? Option 2, Madhu Barg. Yes, option 2 is the right answer. When you are spending more time in configuring than coding. Okay. As a general rule, what region should you select to host your AWS cloud infrastructure? I just covered that. Closest region to your geographically, lowest traffic region, or lowest cost region? One. People are very intelligent. Maybe I am doing a very easy topic. Why is Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud one of the most widely used service in AWS? It lets you launch your application and server without upfront financial commitment. As your company requirement changes, it lets you determine the pricing level. What's the answer? One. Very good. I gave you the scenario that the financial, you don't have to worry about that and you can do all the thing. Okay. So let's now move to the storage part, the second technology domain, which is widely used in AWS, storage. And we will be talking about S3, right? Let's say you have a lot of files, folders, video backup, and you might use certain kind of a cloud, services or cloud drive like Dropbox, Google Drive or Box. You just store your file there. And most of the time it is you sometime run out of storage also. Then what happens in Dropbox, you get some, let's say 5 GB or something. And once you run out of the storage, you move to the other service like Google Drive and you store some file over there. And keep some file in one, keep some file in the other, and some important document like that. But when you are creating a multiple account to store different kinds of file you have, what happens? We may not remember the account in which what we have stored. Even sometime it happens, which happened with me. I don't remember the password unless and until, and we keep on, clearing the cookies and all, then the password also goes. So many of us have, almost all of us has a problem in our personal life. Then think about the companies where they have to store a huge file. So many of us have a very big problem in storing the files and having a backup of that in the cloud. And what if your storage service, where will you store? In pen drive, in hard drive, or in your hard disk in your computer? And maybe you will be buying, you require more storage space, you will buy more hard drive, you will extend the hard hard drive of your computers. You will keep on do that, or you may end up taking a subscription services from a cloud drive and upload your file on the cloud. So that means that you keep on uploading, keep on extending your storage by paying more money in Dropbox, Google Drive. AWS is a solution, and this solution is called static file storage solution called Amazon Simple Storage Service, S3. Amazon, S for simple, S for storage, S for services. Not necessarily only engineering students can use. Even anybody can use this. It's very low in cost. So what Amazon S3 does, it's an object storage services, which means that you're storing each file as an entity called an object. And it offers industry leading data availability, security. Nobody can, hack your file or steal your file and get access to your information. It gives better performance. You can retrieve your file from any place. It can increase the scalability. If you want more storage, it can keep on adding. So scalability means you can scale your usage up and down. If you're using less space, pay less. If you're using more space, you can do. So it can allow you that kind of a flexibility. And it is designed for 99 for so many 99 durability. Durability, which means that almost there is no chance of your data becoming corrupted. Your hard disk, your desktop hard disk, and everything can sometime get corrupted by virus or anything. But this Amazon S3 services, your data will never become corrupted. You can see the chances. So hardly there is any chance. They have not written 100% because there is no 100% security, 100% this, but at least this 11 nines of durability they have. So you can upload the file of all the size to the server, a wide variety of sites. You can have websites, data file or indexing file. You can have mobile apps, backup, archiving, enterprises application, IoT devices, big data analytics. All these you can just store everything in your S3. Right? Not I'm saying that you can store just file, images or videos. You can just having a S3 as your storage for running your enterprises application like ERP. You can have a data backup in your S3. You can have a big data analytics application program with data, huge data or big data available over there. So there are many storage classes available with S3 which support different, what you call the data access level. So you can even set up a S3 lifecycle policies which automatically transfer your file from one storage class to the cheaper one on certain number days. So there are a lot of option range which is available with S3 standard, and you can access your file using the S3 Glacier. Okay, that is also the service which is available in S3. You can have a Glacier Deep Archive in which you can store the backup data of so many years at a very cheaper rate. Whenever you need the object-based file storage, which can be running from like your photograph on your website or little money, whatever you have, you can do that. And possibly you can have a backup of your organization file also with very less budget on the S3. So S3 is a widely used service. Let's see a video on this.
Finding a way to store, distribute, and manage all of your data is a big challenge. Running applications, delivering content to users, hosting high traffic websites, or backing up documents, databases, and email all require a lot of storage. And the need for more storage space keeps growing every day. Building and maintaining your own storage repository is expensive and time consuming. First, you have to buy racks and racks of dedicated hardware and software. Then to get it all up and running, you have to hire staff and set up complex processes to make sure your storage is performing well and backed up in case something fails. Adding more capacity costs money and time to deploy more servers, hard drives, and tape backup machines. And guessing how much capacity you need in the future is difficult. Getting this wrong means either not having the storage you need or overspending and ending up with excess capacity that sits idle. What if there were a better way? Amazon Simple Storage Service, or Amazon S3, provides developers and IT teams with safe, secure object storage. It's easy to use with a simple web services interface that can be used to store and retrieve any amount of data at any time from Amazon EC2 or from anywhere on the web. You just choose the region where you want your data stored, create a bucket, and you can begin storing data in S3. And with Amazon S3,
Data are basically can be stored in any of the region where you want, and you can also store the data as like let's say the object storage. That means you can create a bucket and store one kind of data into that, create another bucket and store another kind of data into that. So that's why it is classification of data storage is very simple to retrieve it.
Won't need a crystal ball to predict how much storage you are going to need in as you want it. When it comes to storage, the last thing you want to worry about is losing valuable data. Amazon S3 helps make sure that doesn't happen by automatically making copies of your objects on multiple devices across multiple facilities. Amazon S3 also lets you preserve, retrieve, and restore every version of every object in an Amazon S3 bucket. so you can easily recover if something is accidentally deleted by users or application failures. With Amazon S3, you only pay for the storage you actually use. There is no minimum fee and no setup cost. Amazon S3 offers a range of storage classes designed for different uses, for active data, S3 standard infrequent access for long-lived but less active data, and Amazon Glacier for long-term archive. Amazon S3 also offers configurable lifecycle policies for managing your throughout its lifecycle. Once a policy is set, your data will automatically migrate to the most appropriate storage class without any changes to your applications. Securing your data is very important, and Amazon S3 gives you flexibility to control who can access your data with identity and access management policies, access control lists, bucket policies, and query string authentication. S3 also helps you securely upload and download your data with SSL encrypted endpoints and provides multiple options for encrypting data at rest. Amazon S3 helps you get the most out of your data by making sure it is stored safely, available when needed, and will scale as your needs grow. Getting started with Amazon S3 is simple. Sign up for an AWS account today, and you...
Okay. The next one in the storage is called Elastic Block Store, students. So when you actually have a virtual server on AWS, like using Amazon EC2, let's say you're running a database on that, you will notice that you are running out of space on your virtual machine. Now, what will you do? So you can continue making your database larger without impacting your virtual machine performance. AWS has a solution which is called Amazon Elastic Block Store, which allow you to add extra blocks to your EC2 instances. And you don't even have to reboot your server. Amazon Elastic Block Store or Amazon EBS just behave like a raw, unformatted block device, which can be mounted or it can be attached to EC2 instances, and it can serve as a server storage. So you can add multiple volume of the same instances or as many as database file or a hard drive to it. You can dynamically change the configuration of all the instances over there. You can set up the size, and that's just in a few clicks you can do in the console. So when you want, kind of, it's like adding a more hard drives to your computer. Your computer has one hard drive. You can add a stack of hard drive to your virtual machines with a kind of a elastic block store. So every kind of a block will come as a unformatted one. It is very durable. Your data is never lost in that. And many organizations today use EBS, elastic block stores, and they basically use this to store their huge database. So different EBS stores typically available, and depending on your budget, it also provides huge security by encrypting your data. And so you can use that. You don't have to reboot your system for EC2 instances, and just to scale up you can do that. Okay, so this is what I was telling you, that this is just like adding one more hard drive. Let's see this.
Amazon Elastic Block Store, also known as EBS, provides persistent block storage for use with Amazon EC2 instances that can scale and adapt to meet your performance requirements. Tightly integrated with EC2 instances, Amazon EBS provides high-performance, low-latency block storage with 4 different volume types to meet the needs of any workload. SSD-backed volume types deliver low latency and the highest IOPS, while HDD-backed volume types deliver the highest throughput, with 2 options for each type, depending on your performance and budget needs. SSD-backed volumes are best for boot volumes or transactional workloads, like enterprise applications, relational databases, and NoSQL databases. HDD-backed volumes are best for applications producing streaming I/O, including big data applications, data warehousing applications, and log processing applications, or for staging application-level backups before snapshotting to Amazon S3. For any type, you'll have consistent performance and be able to connect different volume types to a single EC2 instance for applications whose components have different performance profiles. Because you can modify live volumes without affecting performance or availability, You can adapt easily when your needs change. And point-in-time snapshots enable efficient backup, recovery, archiving, and creating new EC2 instances, all stored in Amazon S3, which has 11 nines of durability. With encryption in flight and at rest, Amazon EBS adheres to the most stringent compliance standards and regulations. Plus, Amazon CloudWatch can provide alerts when you need to adjust capacity or volumes. Consider it for your next.
So there is one more service attached to all these services integrated. It's called Amazon Watch. So you can learn about that also.
High-performance application deployment in the AWS cloud. Find out more at aws.amazon.com.
Okay, the next one is called Snowball. Okay, so let's say your company is a big company. It has one branches or maybe 2-3 branches. They are expanding their business. When they expand their business, they also get huge data collected every day. And now the company feels that they have to migrate the company backup from the on-site server which they owns to AWS cloud. Now, let's say the company is operating from 10 years and they have 10 years time, 10 years worth data. How much time do you think it will take to upload? How long it will be uploading the 10 years worth data through the internet connection of your company with whatever speed you have? Sometime this amount of data you want to upload on. So what you will do is you will say, okay, fine, I will upload in AWS cloud. And the kind of data which you have to upload on AWS cloud is small enough that can go through a high-speed internet connection. So it is easy for you to do that. It's a very small amount of data. But you also realize other times that the amount it takes to upload gigabytes and terabytes of data potentially will take years on the internet to get migrated on AWS. So AWS has come up with a solution to make it easy to migrate your huge historical data into a services called AWS Snowball. So AWS Snowball is one of the few hardware solution on AWS for data migration. It's a data migration tool. This means that AWS will physically ship you a snowball to move your data into it and mail it back so you can migrate huge amount of data. The amount of data you can move into AWS cloud can range from 50 terabytes with a regular snowball up to 100 petabytes with a snowmobile. What is a snowmobile? Snowmobile Okay, so I'm so sorry. The network is very bad over here. I'm just going to switch off my, video here. So I just have a few more slides and then I'm done with my thing. So students, I was talking about the snowball. As in the snowball, I was telling you that if you want to migrate your company 10 years data, historical data, which takes a lot of time if you try to do it with your normal, company internet and all, and it requires a lot of, suppose you want to, do it in a petabyte, So what normally a Snowball does, it physically ship you. Physically, they send a kind of a snowball, trail, and they ship all the data into that. And this is a free service per job, which can range from $200 to for 50 terabytes of snowball to $320 for 80 terabytes in Asia Pacific region. So data is transferred into AWS, which is stored in S3. Also, there will be no transfer fee if you want to migrate the data from S3. But if you want to migrate the data from your on-site server to the snowball, then in that case, they will be sending a snowmobile, which there is a cost around that. It's a chartered huge truck with extremely large storage capability. AWS sales representative will contact you. They will request. They will send the ABS snowball truck to your, on site. They will have a hardware mail to you using a AWS management console. When it arrives, you attach the device to your local network, run the snowball client on your machine, select the folder and file you want to encrypt, because all data need to be secured while it is getting migrated into AWS cloud. And all the transfers are completed. You can mail it back to AWS and upload it into S3. From S3, it can upload it on the. So it hardly takes few days to migrate to your AWS cloud. So AWS Snowball is basically used to migrate data. Okay, so this is about that.
Data transfer to the cloud's pretty easy, so long as you don't have a lot to move, like a lot. For bigger jobs, well, you could try the whole bigger pipe thing, but that can be costly or not even available. And if you can get it, well, it's still not fast enough. Yeah, not even close. Or for smaller jobs, you could go with external. That means 200 or 300 laying around waiting to be labeled, sorted, and stored. What if there was an easy, secure, and affordable solution for even the biggest? Seriously, we're talking petabytes here. Data transfer jobs. Introducing AWS Snowball. With only a few clicks in the AWS console, you can start a Snowball task and have a device, or up to 50 if you need, on their way to you. Once the device arrives, simply connect it to your network, choose which files you want to move, and let Snowball do the rest. All of your data is encrypted as it transfers, and once the job is done, the integrated e-ink display can act as a return shipping label. That's right, Snowball keeps your data safe and ships itself back, too. While it's making its way to the AWS region of your choice, Snowball can even monitor for any attempts at accessing your data or other events. Ooh, that was close. Once Snowball arrives at the selected region, it connects to AWS S3 and securely transfers your data, notifying you once the job is done. From S3, you can then access any AWS service you may want or need. Rest assured, once your data is transferred off of Snowball, the device is erased and prepared for its next job. Moving your data to the cloud doesn't have to be costly, complicated, or time-consuming. Get AWS Snowball and get it done.
Okay, so students, with this, I have done my session today. I would request all the trainers to look into the, the exercise file I'm sending. I don't think it is very difficult for you people to do that. Next class, I will start whenever is the next session in the next week. I want 1 hour for every center to show me at least one exercise. You can just share the screen and show me how you have done. And these are very simple tasks. And ultimately, you will learn better if you do it. So it's on-hand experience, learning experience exercises. I have given the site link also in the Word file. You can go and you can try different exercises. I have just given 4 exercises to you, which is connected to today's sessions. Next class, after 1 hour of your demonstration or evaluation, we will go to the next services called security. First, I will talk about the database also, and then we'll go to the security one, the security, AWS security services. Any questions so far?
Madam, this is Altaf PL2 trainer.
Yes, sir.
Madam, in today's session, the second assignment which it was like coming that you have to get the data from GitHub, one of
Yes.
the things. So I don't
Yeah.
think I'm not like aware like everybody knows like what GitHub is and how to pull the repositories from there. So that's the thing which we want
But
to.
sir, when I was doing one session, I asked, and each one of your center said we know GitHubs.
Okay.
And it's not difficult, no?
No,
GitHubs
it's
is
not
not.
difficult.
Yeah.
It's not difficult. But to
But
pull the repositories from GitHub, they should be,
yeah.
one time we have to give some hands-on, then they will be coming to know.
Yeah. Because you see, every coder, every IT professional should know GitHubs.
Yes, correct, true, true. So others
Otherwise,
are, as you said, like earlier, like lot of YouTube videos are available how to, pull the repositories from this. It's not that complicated. It's just selecting the proper branch and you want to pull the code. So that
okay.
is the only thing.
So what I suggest, Altaf sir, is that if you can take an initiative and take a session with them on GitHubs, maybe what people can do is those centers who don't know the GitHub can send a request to QNX office, and Altaf sir, you can take one session
Yes,
with them online and tell them how the GitHub work,
that
because
works.
all of them must know GitHub.
Yes, true.
Now I can, if I start doing that, then it's
Yeah,
not my work to teach coding and
yeah,
all
yeah,
these things,
exactly.
right? Yeah.
Uh,
I
see,
will just give you one guideline that this is how you have to go and ahead your training and learning in that direction. So I can't teach GitHub
no,
now.
it's not
If I
like
teach,
teaching.
then
So they should be
I'm a
aware.
trained person. Yeah,
No, they should be aware like what GitHub is like.
yeah.
Thing.
So what you can do
Mind.
is you can just I will also put a word to your director and your Arinakshi and Kyonix that
Mm-hmm.
all the centers
Mm-hmm.
who don't know, or the students don't know GitHub, if they can't learn, maybe Altaf sir is a very knowledgeable person. He can just conduct one particular session on that, and you all can learn, because you require a GitHub. You go to a
You have to
company and you
create a
say, I
GitHub
don't
account
know
and like
GitHub. Then I don't know where you are then, because everybody. But I'm not saying that that it's you should be ashamed that you should not know anything. Any time you can learn
and
anything,
learn. Yes,
right?
true, absolutely.
And it is not
I agree.
very difficult. You can go to YouTube and learn out of it, right? Most of the time, I learn and then come and teach you.
Exactly.
So
Yes,
it's
ma'am.
not learning happens every moment and every lifelong. So if there is a requirement, maybe if you say no, we want a session and understand better, and with example and all, maybe Altaf sir is a good person who can train you on GitHub, and you can have a session with those presenters who don't know. Because when I was doing and I was showing them some coding which I put in the GitHub, they said that we all know. So I thought,
Okay. I'm not sure uh, because those few centers they might not
yeah.
that much
Can
aware of
can
what
the
to pull.
centers now in the can all the
Call.
centers can now put up in the chat box that if you want a kind of a training, I may request Kyonix to arrange.
If you really know GitHub, then it's absolutely fine. Like it's
Yeah.
good.
But yeah, if you really want to know, or if you really want to learn, there is no harm in taking help from a center. So there is a somebody has sent Wazida Raichur, we want to know, sir.
Okay.
So maybe if you want, you can continue today with sir. I will leave the session and he can talk to you, or maybe some other day, maybe
Some
because
other day that would be
they sat only for 2 hours and it is too much for them to take all these kinds of sessions. So maybe you can, sir, just train
by
them. You
tomorrow
can
or by tomorrow. You tell the timings. I'm available like from anytime when you
so
have. I block my calendar.
my time,
No,
I
I'm talking
somehow
about my
take all
timing,
this
ma'am.
time. Yeah. So
I'm talking
what?
about my timing. So
Yeah.
if you consolidate timing, I will block my calendar and I can take a session,
Okay.
like 1 hour
So
session,
Hubli
more
people
than enough.
said that we know GitHub. Those who know, it's very good.
That's
It's
all
very
fine.
good.
Good.
Those who don't know, they can take always a help, right? Or you say no, it is okay. We will do it ourselves. That is also okay with us. That's also problem. But one particular center can help the other center in understanding certain concepts. Okay. So anyway, sir, I will just wind off now if there is no question, because it's getting too late. And so students, let's do your best. Apply the knowledge which you have learned. There are a lot of resources available. You just have utilize that. And it's nothing great I am doing here. I'm also compiling those resources and bringing to you. So you people can do yourself, learn in whatever language today videos are available. I
Exactly.
am very
Exactly.
comfortable in Hindi. I listen to all the videos which I'm teaching you. I all videos long time back, or maybe today or a day before yesterday, I was listening in Hindi while I was driving the car. Means I feel it more comfortable to understand. So language is not a barrier. Today you have a lot of videos, tutorial available. You can upload a tutorial on your own, and you can teach people on GitHubs or anything like that. So please use this, apply this. Not difficult at all. I don't know whether you people have. I think when you are teaching cloud computing, all of you, and even if you're not teaching, all of you should have a AWS. Your center should have a AWS account, because that's everybody has now. So it is nothing like shocking though that you don't have it. So you should have a AWS account and let your student explore more than what is taught by the trainer in the center, and also by the expert session. Them go beyond that and invest in their own learning. Lot of courses are available, lot. So you please invest yourself. Okay, then bye for this week. Happy learning. Go ahead, enjoy your learning. If you enjoy, you will definitely do better than that. Okay, so try to, I'm not saying that necessarily you have to do what I've given. I've given you a guideline because those are little searched one. Otherwise you want to search, you will take some time. Why to waste time? And just do that. There are a lot of exercises in that link which I will be sending today. What you can do is you can go to the link, and if you want to explore more exercise on AWS, you can do that. Okay, thank you. Bye. Good night.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate it.